So, welcome. My name is Thijs Muller. I'm a co-founder of Creative City Solutions, and I will walk you through some projects. So, a few years ago, the housing association of this typical post-war building flat came to us with the ambition of their energy label and energy upgrade. So they want to go from an E to D label to an A plus label. So we said, okay, let's figure out how to do it and how much, what the budget is, figure out the budget, and start doing the planning. But while we were on our way, we discovered actually there was a lot of big lack of maintenance. So we saw a lot of mold, old pipes that were broken. The bricks had to undergo a big renovation. So not even after a long planning phase, we discovered the renovation cost, including the sustainable renovation, but also just the renovation to keep the building functional, would be anywhere between at least 60 to 100,000 euros per apartment flat. You have to know this is a homeowner association, so people have to pay that by their own money. So of course that was not an option anymore to do the sustainable renovation, even not with the subsidies, which are luckily enough available in the Netherlands. They still would have to pay a lot of money. So what did we do? I think some of you might already seen it, but we put a layer on top of it. And in our business model, all the profits of the extra layer created are going directly to benefit the homeowner association. So we actually created value for the existing users of the building. So in that case, so it's to show you this case, what it brought to us. So in the Netherlands, you need to have like 100% voting rights of the housing association to make this feasible, to put an extra layer on top. So we had like a long participation process, and we ended up with 100% of the people who were committed to the optopping. And therefore, we were able to reinvest more than 800,000 euros in the building. And of course, because you do the optopping, you don't have to do the sustainable renovation of the roof, and also the elevators were included in the Optoppen project and in the building cost. And therefore, we did 2 apartment blocks of this at the same time, we created near the city center of Amsterdam, this really near the central business district, the Zuidas. So the housing prices are quite high here. We created 20 new homes, which are A+++. And very interestingly, now looking back at the project almost a year later, we see also an 80% uplift compared to buildings who are in the neighborhood. Because the value of the apartments below attract to the new built apartments on top. So that was a really interesting insight. So to give you a small glimpse of how we did the participation process, we built actually a Lego model of the building to help the owners and the people who are living there understanding what was going to happen in a really playful way. So it was one way to get to that 100%. So that's how Creative City Solution was born. So we are a platform to support property stakeholders by simplifying their expansion. And so we have investigated where are those post-war building blocks in Amsterdam. So we see we can create almost more than 800,000 homes if we use this methodology, and we only focus on these type of building blocks. And at the same time, we can do a lot of renovation. So here you see the central business district. I have to go fast forward a bit. I see during time. So if we take one of these building blocks, we can create a lot of new homes. So if we zoom in a bit, on this block, we can create around 320 new homes. And that's almost the same as this huge imposant building near the central station of Amsterdam, the Pontstijgergebouw. So we calculated in Amsterdam, we could create 22 of these huge buildings. Well, and we also calculated for the Netherlands, more than 300 of these buildings on top of those post-war building flats. So only on the post-war building flats. And of course, you can think of what we can reach in Europe. But I saw already in the previous talks, it's not very easy to start a project like this. I saw also comments in the chat about small real estate developers. How can you ever start a project like this? If every project is really like a pilot, you really need specialized knowledge, which of course costs a lot of resources. And you're concerned with the fragmented ownership and the voting rights if this is a housing association. So what we do is we do scope optimization, regardless of the ownership structure. So here you see some apartment flats we're working on, and every flat one is owned by a housing association, one by an investor, and we all bring them together to optimize the cost. And then we can create buildings like this. We can transform to this. This project will start in the beginning of next year. And of course, we can think of what we can do with the roof. We can make a communal roof. This was from the housing association. Or we can have more private roof terraces. And interesting enough, when we asked the housing association, do you want to have a communal roof or a private terrace is only for the top layers, but then you earn 10,000 euros more, they opt for the money, of course. So then we can create projects like this. And if you calculate it back to the service cost, so the monthly payment each homeowner has to pay, before we were planning to do the Optoppen, we calculated it will be anywhere around 380 euros. And after, it was around 180 euros. So it's a quite immersive, like if you only have a few 1,000 or 2,000 euros to spend, is a huge impact on your living. So how can we scale this? Currently, we're undertaking projects in various clusters, and it's very important to participate with the municipality, with the government, with the regional districts, and all the owners in these districts. So here we have the districts of fragmented ownerships. It's all building blocks like this. And we're working on multiple clusters together, especially in a specific area. And so what we do on forehand, we go to the municipality and talk about things, and sorry, this in Dutch, I know, about some indexes and like the livability of the city. How do we deal with the parking? And if we all figure that on forehand, before we start a project with the homeowners, that makes it feasible, energy-wise, but also money-wise. So we made like a fancy video, I think a year ago, how this could work if we scale things up and we use modular wooden construction. We work together with municipalities. We really can upgrade current neighborhoods who needs to have like an uplift for the coming 40, 50 years maybe. So that's where we stand.